Thanks for staying with us on this edition of Vision. Cedric Varner, great friend, longtime friend in the studio with us today, Kenyatte Hassell, who is the Urban Director of YoungLife. Mr. Hassell, thanks for coming to be with us on the program once again.
Glad to be here.
It's actually been a long time since we've had a chance to talk. Of course, we see each other almost every week, but we haven't had a chance to talk about the program that you run called YoungLife. And you are responsible for the urban division?
Yes.
Okay, and how does that work?
Well, that's more the inner city schools, JD, Carver, Lanier, and Lee High School.
Okay.
We have leaders that go into the schools, and they start building a relationship with the high school kids, high school students. And that started with our 4 C's that we use with YoungLife that we talked about previous time that I've been here. We start with the committee. And the committee role is to, they do personal service, they financial support, which is a lot of fundraising. They do spiritual support, and also they do help with public relations. They make sure they're aware of everything that's going on with YoungLife. If they promote YoungLife, anything that we're doing, also to help with our fundraising. Okay. Yeah.
All right. Well, and speaking of fundraisers and trips that you take, now, of course, you're very good at this ministry, and when I talk to you, most times through the year, you are preparing to take the students to a trip.
That's right.
Is that like twice a week, a year?
Well, twice a year. Okay. Well, we start off with contact work. That's another one I sees. And when we go into the school, one of our leaders, let's say for instance, Robert Lee High School, we got a leader that goes into that school that build relationship with high school students. Now, YoungLife, one of our methods we use if one leader go there, he got to make sure he get between 10 or 12 kids. So it's 10 to 12 kids per leader. So if we got 5 leaders, we might have a minimum of 50 kids, up 50 to 55 to 60 kids. If we got 5 leaders, we have 50 to 60 kids that's part of YoungLife. So leaders are important. That's when we do our contact work to build that relationship. We do home visits. We're going to the schools, football games, basketball games, sometimes wrestling matches, cheerleading camps, and all that. We do a lot of those. We do a lot of that to provide contact work to help build a relationship with our high school students. And so, when we build that relationship, we have two camps a year. We have a summer camp, which is we usually go in July, and then we have a weekend camp, majority between January and February. And that gives us a time to even be more, what we call more intimate with the kid. You don't have no distractions. They don't, we take their phones. Right. Then no music. It's just you have an adult leader. You spend a lot of good time with the high school student to help build that relationship. To help, one of the main things that has been a problem, I say, with high school kids, like let's say bullying, for instance, internet bullying, social media bullying. If they might post a picture and then somebody like, oh, you this, or call them out their name and talk very bad about them, and so they take it so personal that a lot of high school students have suicidal thoughts. And so sometimes we get a call from a high school student to a YoungLife leader and say, look, I don't want to be here no more. And so those are times, and we get a lot of that when we go to our camp because they're not distracted. They don't have their phone in their hand all the time. So they'll talk to their leader about it, and leader, I do a lot of time discourage them from having those negative thoughts. So, and that's what's so important about that contact work. And then that contact leads to our camp that gives a lot of good time to spend with that high school student.
Well, we've got some photos that you've sent of some of the camp and a few of the activities that you do. And so this photo here, what are we seeing here?
This is one of our camps that we have in North Carolina. Okay. This is at Windy Gap. It's part of Weaverville, North Carolina. It's north part of North Carolina, matter of fact.
All right. And so this is the camps. How many students do you have from, say, this area that will go with you to a camp? From
Montgomery, this past summer we took about 25 kids. Okay. We had about 5 leaders. We took about 25 kids. Okay. To summer camp this year, which was July 1st to the 7th.
Okay. And so do the kids stay all week?
Stay all week.
Okay.
We'll get there early Sunday morning, and we'll stay for we'll stay for 6 days, and we'll leave at night. That 7th. We'll leave at night, headed back to Montgomery. Okay.
Yeah. All right, real good. All right, well, we got another one that we got queuing up so that folks can see. So this one is, where is this?
This is our pool. We got an Olympic-sized pool. We got a jacuzzi. It's a slide there. This is the pool. They have a lot of free time. A lot of times you might, one of the guys may say, Ken, come go swimming with me. And I said, well, I sit by the pool because I can't swim. But but
Understand.
but another opportunity where we get a chance to spend time with the high school student.
So it's a time to interact and connect and disconnect from social media.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
Very important.
Yeah.
So are you finding that when you challenge the students to disconnect with social media, that it helps with relating and connecting interpersonally?
That's what, absolutely. Because when you have one-on-one with a high school student, and like what I say, if they're not being influenced by friends or some people they don't even know, sometimes they try to get their followers up, so they might be following 100 people they don't even know, and so and they be like, this person don't even know me, and they're making a comment, and I like, just think about what you said. They don't know you, they making a comment. But when you put stuff on social media, you feed them things that they shouldn't have, and you allow some things to happen. And that's, like I said, we get that opportunity when we have one-on-one with that high school student, and it's because it's a very intimate moment, and it's personable. It's more personable. We don't have it's not a phone or a computer screen that's blocking to see what type of that person is or how I am. They can see that, oh man, I like Kenyatte, he a good guy, or one of my leaders, he is a good guy. I really believe what he's saying more than that person that's on my social media.
And so that's a good point that you made. So we've got students putting things on social media that people can use against them to basically come back and beat them up with.
That's right.
So
That's right. So you have to be very careful what you put on social media.
Yeah, that's really good. All right, we got another photo we're going to go to of one of your facilities, Sharpton Cove?
This Sharp Top Cove.
Sharp Top.
Now
okay.
this is another camp we have in Georgia. It's in North Georgia.
Okay.
It's in Jasper, Georgia.
Okay.
It's one of our closer camps in Montgomery. It's probably about 3 hours away. And it's a huge camp. It's by the lake, got a volleyball court, and that's the dining hall on top of the hill right there. But all our camps, majority of our camps in the east, on the East Coast and in the South, except for Southwind, which is in Florida, are in the mountains. In the Appalachian Mountains. So I think we have 4 camps in the Appalachian Mountains.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's one in Jasper, Georgia.
Wow. Okay. So part of your fundraising is to help maintain revenue for operations and to go to the camps.
That's right.
Okay.
Half our budget is for camp.
Okay.
Because it's very expensive. It's about $700 per kid to go to camp.
Wow.
That's for transportation, and it's just for meals and everything that we provide during the camp. And you can look at the camps, and they'll show you that how nice they are. Not how nice they are. They're more like a resort than anything. I had to tell parents, they're like, "Oh, my child gonna be in the woods." I'm like, "No, it's very nice. The boarding is nice. Food, you get 3 meals a day. I mean, good food. Snacks. And there's a lot of things that they provide. Like I said, you see the pool. They have volleyball courts. We have NASCAR riding, horseback riding. So it's a lot of activity that costs. And actually, it could be more, But because of we have national donors too that make it cheaper to get it to that $700 cost.
That's good. That's good. That's good. Well, we got another photo here we want to show of now. Where is this? Is this a night scene?
Yeah, it is. It's a nice scene. It's an island in the middle of the lake in Windy Gap. That's the camp in North Carolina. On the right side is our dining hall with the volleyball court, and but yeah, it's a nice scene. A lot of people in that island have benches. You sit there, you can talk. Have one-on-one with some of your like we call contact work with your high school student, and just one thing about YoungLife. Some people say it's heaven on earth. Because some of our guys that come out of certain situations had never seen a place like one of our YoungLife camps, because they'll sit there and be mesmerized. If you ever visit one of our camps, I hope you come one day. But you'll see our kids for the first time. They'll just look around and be like, "Wow, I never thought I'd ever see a place like this." And that's just a picture that show you where how nice it is.
Yeah. And so when we talk about camp, we also got another photo we're going to of some of your campers, huh?
That's right. That's Shelby and Tatiana. They graduated from high school this year, but they've been in YoungLife Tatiana been in YoungLife for about 5 years now.
Is that right?
That's right. And she's great, man. She has graduated from high school. Now she's going to college. She matured a whole lot in her life, and I think YoungLife had a big part in that. She only been involved 2 years, and she's a good girl, and she also. She has some family stuff, but her her situation is getting better because she's making better decisions.
Well, I tell you, you really, and once again, you really are gifted in this arena because I see your former students and former students and people that you work with, young people that you work with, come back to see you all the time.
That's right. Matter of fact, 2 of my leaders are former YoungLife students.
Okay.
And I like, they were former YoungLife students. They became campaigner kids, and then they wanted to be a leader. And and one started a foundation called Hateless, and we got ones who are he is a firefighter.
Yeah.
So they are productive citizens.
Yeah. Very very delightful young man. I see him often, and always glad to see him. I know who you're talking about, who is the firefighter, and so now then you've got the campaigners.
That's right. A lot of times when our kids, for an example, the 2 leaders, they were involved with what we call our campaigner. We call our campaigner kids, and what they do, they want to get more in depth about their faith spiritually, and in the meantime, they understand their role and they want to get involved in leadership. So we'll take, for instance, a high school leader, and it's easier for the peer to reach a peer. And so that's what our campaigner kids, that's why we use the word campaign. And they start campaigning for YoungLife. They're like, man, look, you got to come and visit, and because I want you to experience what I experienced.
Yeah.
And which is it's a crucial aspect to what we do at YoungLife also.
Yeah, well, it's fantastic. I think the work and the impact that you've been making over the years is really great. I know that about you, and that your students trust you.
Yes.
And so you work to build that trust and not to violate that trust, and so we're really appreciate you and your service for the community, because you've been doing it really a long time now.
Yeah, since 2004.
All right, all right. Well, Mr. Hassell, we want to say thanks for coming to be with us on the program, and we really enjoy the work that you're doing. We really respect you for it. Now, I try to get out and do some community service. You know, I can't do it like you do. One of the things that we did the other week was we left your shop seeing you. We went over to Health Services Incorporated, and our team members, Jared, who you just met, Jared and Robert McGee, who are on the boards with us, helping direct this show. They were out there serving the community, and so we just wanted to give them a shout out, just to say, you know, kudos to them for their service for the community, to the community. Trying to make a difference as we're all trying to do something in our particular area. So Mr. Hassell, we want to say once again thanks for coming to be with us on the program. We're going to invite you back. We're going to try to make sure that it doesn't take so long for next time.
Oh, no problem.
That's going to do it for us on this segment of Visions. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.